So for today, we're going to show you how it might look as far as supporting Macy's preparation phase. Macy's been kind enough to volunteer herself. So thank you, Macy. Before we go
Sure.
into the demo, I wondered if we had anything additional to add to where
Yeah,
this.
so sure. Yeah. So I'm preparing for a psilocybin journey. I've been preparing for this for a while, just kind of mentally thinking about it, feeling into if it feels right. I want to be in a good headspace. I want it to be intentional. Um, and there's a few different reasons behind it, why, like, what my intentions are. I'm happy to dive into those unless you were going to ask that question, Martha.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start. If you feel comfortable to share what your intentions are.
Sure. Yeah, so I think it's twofold. I think my first intention was just kind of on the spiritual side of things, to celebrate consciousness. There's definitely like a next level of that conscious awareness when you work with the medicine, and that's something that's quite hard to tap into in a normal state of consciousness. So that's always something that interests me in working with the medicine, is that kind of spiritual element and being closer to source, or whatever you want to call it. But I think secondly is cultivating forgiveness. A lot of people have come in and out of my life over the past few years, and it's important to me to never keep resentment in my body or in my mind. And I think the medicine can and will help me cultivate forgiveness to be able to let go and move on. So I'm going to use it as a tool to help me get there.
Such beautiful intentions for yourself in that work.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Mhm. I wondered if we touch into that first intention of celebrating consciousness. And as you were speaking about it, you had some hand gestures. I don't know if you noticed those.
No, I didn't.
So even just as I reintroduce that intention of celebrating consciousness, and you can kind of just hold that in your awareness right now, and maybe notice what's there for you. It could be a thought, could be something you feel in your body.
I definitely feel, when I think about that, I feel like a burst of gratitude, like in my heart center. I almost feel like
Yeah.
my heart is beating like a little stronger, and I feel like light in my chest when I think
Mm.
about the celebration of consciousness and the awareness of uh, gratitude for being a human. That makes me feel good in my heart.
Macy, I wonder, just even placing the hand there as you did,
Mm.
and noticing how that might help to connect to that sense of gratitude in your body right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the physical placement, it helps
Mm,
with that connection.
yeah. So maybe we could just take a moment there and you can notice maybe even particularly how it's helpful to have that hand there, um, connecting you to that sense of gratitude. Notice what happens.
It feels like my emotion is more tangible,
Yeah.
if that
Yeah,
makes sense. I don't know if that makes
absolutely.
sense, but
Oh, it absolutely makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, is there any imagery here as you both feel the sensations and the emotion of gratitude?
Yeah, it's like not my life flashing before my eyes, but it's like all of these really like lovely aspects of earth and the people that make me happy are kind of like
Yeah.
passing over, and elevating this feeling and contributing to this feeling, because that's ultimately what it is all of these aspects of my human experience contributing to that gratitude for consciousness and being here to experience it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that very much so sounds in line with that being your intention and the importance of that intention for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel grateful to be able to feel this,
Mhm.
because I recognize that that's a gift too.
Mhm.
And then that makes me happier about celebrating consciousness. And it's like this wonderful, like positive feedback, and it's making my body feel warm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So feel that warmth. It sounds like it's good warmth.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
warmth.
So, Macy, would it be okay if I just provide a little bit of education to kind of support this process and
Please.
how it might help you?
Hmm.
This is what we can call a resource state, right? Touching into that feeling of gratitude and really deepening into it. It sounds like it's something that's really nourishing and supportive for you.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so this is something that, as we go into the medicine work, if ever you did need to come back to a place that's feeling a bit more nourishing and supportive, and some of the ways you could even do that is, again, by placing the hand there and then maybe even accessing some of that imagery and those people and kind of noticing how that's helpful.
It feels like an anchor
Yeah,
when
that's right.
if I start to go off the rails or think negative thoughts, I know that I have this within me,
That's
because I
right.
have it, I feel it right now, which means I it's accessible. So that's great to have that anchor, to be able to come back to this, because I you're showing me that I'm capable of feeling this.
Yeah. Well, and it sounds like you're having the direct experience of being able to access it and how it's good for you as well.
Right. And I think this is such a valuable part of preparing for this experience, is showing myself that I am capable of feeling happiness and love and warmth, and I could always come back to myself in this like my body and my mind is a safe space, and this is
Yeah.
showing that.
So let yourself feel that. Take a few moments to notice even how you can feel that safety in your body right now. Yeah, and you might even notice the deeper breath. I'll ask, is there anything in particular that you're experiencing right now as far as that sense of safety? How might you get the sense of that safety right now in your body?
I feel like what's coming up for me, as I think about this, my gratitude, the celebration of consciousness, like the safety I have with the people around me and myself. I feel like the message for me is that I should and can trust myself.
Mm,
And that's like a really important thing to remember, not only with medicine work or preparing for medicine work, like this innate sense of trust within myself and this like safety that I feel within myself is accessible and always there. And I need to remember that sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, one of the ways that we can help to remember is by just taking a couple more moments to notice those sensations of safety. And you had said something, I can access this, and maybe even noticing your ability to access it right now as well. So we'll wrap up in a minute or two, Macy. I thought that maybe we'd get to the second intention, but time time might not permit, but I wondered if we could just briefly touch into it. And I wanted to ask, do you have any concerns about the upcoming experience? Is there anything you're maybe feeling a bit ambivalent about?
I think that with some unresolved, I don't want to say resentments, but there's people that have left relationships with me that, I don't necessarily expect direct reconciliation with
Hmm.
them. I'm worried that that will surface and make me upset. But again, I think my intention is to find forgiveness within my, like, pivot that emotion instead of being upset like it's never going to resolve, it's always going to, like, to find forgiveness within myself, and that is the only liberation that I need, and
Hmm.
remembering that. So that's kind of my only concern, but I hope that this preparation will allow me to avoid something really challenging that's gonna, that's not helpful.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it sounds like you're both open to leaning into some of what you might need to experience to get into the place of forgiveness, and also, understandably so, some concerns about what might arise and how you might be able to stay with it.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think it's identifying the difference between working through something challenging and realizing that something is an intrusive thought, and
Right.
making that distinction. And that's a really important part of the preparation for me,
Yeah.
to make those distinctions. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder, even as we're just talking about this, can you maybe notice your body and see what might be happening?
I feel like I scrunched up a little.
Yeah.
Right? Like I crossed my feet a little and like I
Yeah.
just feel a little scrunchier.
A
Yeah.
little scrunchier. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe even does it feel okay to kind of stay in the scrunchier kind of place?
It feels, yeah, it feels safe for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how about you notice, if possible, it's just an invitation, notice if you can feel how this is safe.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
And
I'm protecting myself from something.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Um, So, in this place of feeling a sense of protection, as you kind of stay with it, and maybe you can even notice that sense of protection, and maybe notice the part of you that's looking or needing that protection right now.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's interesting, because that is someone who wants to be loved and accepted by everybody, and
Hmm.
to be able to let people walk out of my life, like the little Macy within, insecure Macy within me, is the one being protected because she doesn't, like, she wants everyone to love and accept her and feel loved and accepted. And
Yeah.
so that, I feel like that's who I'm shielding
Mhm.
right now.
That's right.
Hmm.
So, as you recognize little Macy and her need for protection and, knowing the upcoming experience, I wonder if there's a message for her from the place where you stand, being able to provide this protection. Is there something she might want to hear?
Mm. Yeah, I think the message to her is that you don't chase, you attract. And those who don't want to receive your love and kindness, let them go. And it's okay. Their reality is not your reality. And it's okay. It is okay, because I have an abundance of love and happiness, who are, it's like some of those folks
Yeah,
that I was saying light me
that's right.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you can come back to feeling that sense of love and abundance and just notice how that's helpful right now.
I feel held by those people. Like it feels like that loving energy from my husband, my grandma, all of these people that I love so dearly, like are within me and able to help that little Macy inside of me, as well as this version of me too. It's like it's all of our loving energy that can contribute to helping that little part of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels really good.
Well, that might be a nice place to leave it. What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like really good. I don't know how else to say it. I think
It's a
having,
great way of saying it.
yeah, uncovering some of those things. I think like feeling in my body what feels good and then recognizing how my body reacted to insecurity and figuring out who or what within me feels that way and to nurture that part of me felt very liberating and like it I feel really good. Yeah, that was really nice and I feel like this exercise could be used at any time. Like I would love everybody to just experience what I just experienced. It was what 10-15 minutes and I feel like I got a lot coming out of it and I have a lot to think about and it was very valuable. Thank you, Martha. That was expertly done and really lovely to experience. Truly. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be a part of your process and also thank you for volunteering yourself for the group.
Of course.
Oh my goodness, you both absolute rock stars. And even like a simple example like that, I know we drew kind of like a higher level example, but the power that not even related to psychedelics, the power that just shifting into your body and having that intention and having someone to support you really safely through that, just like thank you. On it, like it was an absolute honor to watch that, and thank you for letting us into your process, Macy and Martha, for your expert guidance through that. I thought I'd now shift a little bit to talk about again the opportunities that we offer here at Numinus to dig into embodied inquiry a little bit more. In the meantime, though, while I'm doing my presentation, if you had a specific question for Martha and Macy about that process, I wanted to dig in a little bit. We're going to save some time from questions at the end, so please feel free to drop those in the chat while I just share my screen really briefly to talk about embodied inquiry. All right. Martha, do you mind giving me a thumbs up if you can see my screen okay? Okay, perfect. So you just got a firsthand demo about embodied inquiry. And if we piqued your interest, even the littlest amount, we'd love to have you join our upcoming sessions. That is a deep dive into embodied inquiry. It's an opportunity for you to get a certificate in this specific skill set and lots more time with Martha and learning from her expertise. I thought I'd just give a really high level overview of what you get in that course. With many of our courses at Numinus, we of course provide some pre-work through our learning management system, which again will give you a little bit of context, theory, some video work. Just really make sure that you feel primed and have some of that foundational material before you spend time with us on our Zoom sessions to practice and role play and see case studies, etc. So you'll get some of that with this course. We've broken it up into 3 different live sessions for you, and I'll talk a little bit about course format in a bit here. But live session 1, again, really getting into the nuts and bolts of the frameworks and the foundations. It's an opportunity to ask lots of questions and feel like you have some of that theoretical foundation down. Then into session 2, we're going to move a little bit more into, again, the demo work, the practice work, using trauma-specific skills and digging into kind of more deeper, complex trauma. And then session 3, we're going to try to steward it more to specifically psychedelic-assisted therapy work, how you use it through the arc of psychedelic-assisted therapy. But you'll notice not all 3 of the sessions are really laser focused on psychedelic-assisted therapy itself. We want, of course, give you the tools and the tool belt to be able to use this with whatever work you're doing, whatever client work. But then, of course, in session 3, how we specifically apply this tool to psychedelic-assisted therapy, because we think it's absolutely critical to do this work with an embodied inquiry framework. who can take this course. Like most of our courses, we have it pretty open. I will warn you though, if you don't have a licensed background, you are not someone with a therapy background and have taken various other courses and training to do therapeutic skills, this will be a little bit of a push for you. I'd say the folks who do the best in this program and can get the most out of it, again, have a little bit more of that background and practice and have seen clients and can really dig into that role play. If this is really new for you, please reach out and get in touch with us. We're happy to walk you through that, maybe give you some preparation material in advance to feel like you can do your best in this course. So while it is open, just please note that this course, I would say, is more of like our intermediate level certificate. Oh, and sorry, really quickly, accreditation. Along with all of our courses, we have 3 accreditation bodies in Canada. We have 1 in the US currently, and we're just in the final stages of 2 more in the US. If you're really curious about accreditation, chat to me after the session. I'm more than happy to walk you through what the accreditation process looks like with us. With embodied inquiry, as you notice here, even with the demo that you saw with Martha and Macy, we really try to keep it highly experiential. So again, lots of that opportunity to practice, do role plays, see demos from our instructors. You're going to get really kind of that hands-on experiential touch. Again, for us with Numinus training, we try to bring this to life, really make it as practical as possible. Our goal is to make sure that you feel really confident to use these skills and implement into your practice right away. You're just seeing a kind of snippets here on the left-hand side about what we ask you in your pre-work. So again, you'll get audio clips and opportunities to see case studies, and then we're going to ask you specific questions and dive into that. You'll also get really nice checklists and cheat sheets and handouts, again, that can give you a bit of a framework to use into your own practice outside of your learning environment. Upcoming cohorts. So embodied inquiry is an interesting one. We've tested a few different formats. And again, it's really dependent on what you like to do and your format of learning. So in April, we've structured this in a weekly format. So if you're someone who really likes to take your time, you want to take your time through the pre-work, give yourself that week to digest each of the live session materials. Our April format is, again, weekly. So you'll have 3 weeks of content. And each week, you'll really focus on those 3 levels that I talked about at the beginning of this presentation. And then in the summer, if you're more of the learner, and especially with summer being wild with vacation planning and various other plans, we are doing a condensed format. And so that's all going to be done within 3 days during that same week. So it'll happen on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So again, your session 1 will be Monday. So you do your pre-work on the weekend. And then on the Tuesday, you do your pre-work in time for Wednesday, and then do your pre-work on Thursday in time for Friday. It really allows this like nice build of content. But again, you need to feel like you're really invested in that training. And I would say having a good background so that you can feel like you can come through that pre-work quickly and be able to do well in your live sessions. But yeah, that'll be offered in the July summer format if that sounds like it's a little bit more conducive to your learning style. And then I just wanted to quickly say that this course has a really high rating. Embodied Inquiry, our instructors like Martha that you have with us on the webinar today is just really lovely, and our learners just really adore the opportunity to practice and get that kind of experience with their practitioners, with the instructors in their small groups and the breakout sessions and the role plays, etc. So just to say, it's a very high rating course, 4.8 out of 5 with us. So again, if you're considering taking this course, I encourage you to do so, but I'm also happy to answer any questions you have specific to that training certificate. I'll put the links in the chat just so you have access to the one I'm specifically talking about. And then if you've been looking at our certification pathways, I just want to say that there's a distinguishing between this course and then the full certification pathway. If you're looking to get certified in psychedelic-assisted therapy, that'll have a different track for you. This is a very specific standalone certificate that'll be very complementary to the work that you'd be doing as part of your certification pathway, but it is just a separate course that we offer for folks that really want to dig into that skill set.